Hi, I'm Hugh Sullivan, videographer for the Herald and Review, and I always stress the importance of using the right tool for the job and coming prepared with the right gear, but sometimes you might forget something at home, or sometimes the gear's at home because you're not planning on shooting something, and an opportunity presents itself, and that's why I never cease to be amazed by how incredible our phones are, because I can pull out my phone and use it for just about anything. And I'll point out right now that I have an iPhone, but I really don't care. As long as it's a smartphone that can do high quality video and has apps for voice recording and all that stuff, it doesn't matter what brand you use. This is what I use because I have it and I like it. But I'm definitely not brand loyal or, you know, an iPhone versus Android person. I could care less. I'm amazed by all of them. And it's because these things can be a lifesaver in spot news. The first example is hey, I don't have my camera with me, I wasn't planning on shooting something, but something cool is happening, what do I do? There's been a few occasions where I've just pulled out my phone and filmed something. The most recent example was at Millikan University's annual cookie party. I was with my wife helping her set up a GoPro for a time-lapse of the cookie party, and I thought, you know, I might as well grab an interview while I'm here. You know, the organizer of the event's right here, and there's no one, you know, they haven't opened yet, so it's a nice quiet time to get the interview out of the way. So I just used my phone, and then we stuck around, ate some cookies once they opened the doors. I got video of everyone, you know, going through, and, you know, they had music, they had all this stuff going on. It was a really cool thing, and it ended up that Teresa Churchill came to write the story. Lisa Morrison was there to do photos, so it was going in the paper anyway, and I just happened to be there to catch the video for it. And it also happened at another Millikan event where there were some artists from Chile who were talking about their poster designs, and I was just there for fun and thought, you know what, I'm going to interview them after the show here and put something up on the Herald and Review YouTube page, because why not? I'm already here. And you know what, even if you do have your main camera with you, sometimes it'll die, or maybe it's across the room and something's happening right now, and you can pull out the phone and, you know what, no one's going to notice that footage doesn't belong to the original camera, if you shoot it right. And the voice memo app is even more handy because you can use it as a microphone. I've used this when I shoot with the 5D Mark II sometimes. I've used it as a microphone when I'm using the GoPro as a dash cam, and I've even used it as a replacement for wireless mics. For a while I've been shooting on this little camera. We've been testing this out at the Herald and Review, and it's really handy to just kind of go out and shoot spot news, but it's a little small for a wireless mic pack, so I've been using the iPhone, or actually sometimes I use the iPod when I have it with me. That way I can keep taking pictures on my phone. So most recent examples of that is when the city manager promoted the new fire chief and police chief. I was able to just put the iPod right up on the podium and get everything he was saying. And the same thing for the Veterans Day program that they did at the Civic Center auditorium. I was way in the back of the room. I knew the audio wasn't going to be very good coming through the speakers, so I was able to leave my iPod down on the podium and get the entire program. And I actually put that entire program up uncut. And so that's on the YouTube channel if you wanted to check that out. And it even helped out when I was shooting sports. Now normally I have this little camera with me, and I've got a microphone that'll plug into it to do just the you know, interviews after the game and to do the stand-ups with the reporters. And they normally do that right after the game, as soon as we're done with the interviews, before we both had our separate ways to do the writing and the editing. But this was the night before Thanksgiving. Alex McNamee and I were covering the turkey tournament, and there was early deadline for the paper. So Alex had to rush right back and get the story done. He didn't have time to write and record a voiceover. So I was kind of in a pinch because I had to go home and I could kind of sift through the footage, but I couldn't edit until he was done. And so normally that would have meant that I had to wait for him to call me, drive into the office, set up the studio, record with him, drive home, put it on the computer and edit. Instead, he was able to just record his voiceover on the phone as soon as he was done, text it to me. I was able to throw it on the computer and get working without having to leave the house and waste a bunch of time driving and setting up equipment. So like I said, doesn't matter what kind of phone or device or brand you're using, as long as you know what it can do and keep that in the back of your head, that it can come in really handy in a pinch, and it can be used for much more than just recreation or just texting people. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel. Go check out my personal channel where I have lots of filmmaking and other fun stuff. And as always, check back every week where I talk about my experiences behind the camera.